Let's start by asking you a question. How many hours in a day are you using your phone? For most of us, it easily reaches 4 to 5 hours a day. And trust me, there's a huge population amongst us that uses this phone thing for at least 7 to 8 hours a day. Now that we are in agreement that we actually have an issue on hand, let's talk about those 11 points that you could use in order to control your phone usage. There are applications for this purpose. They are called Android Digital Wellbeing, and if you're using an iOS, then Screen Time. I'm sure you've heard of these. It's just that you're not using them yet. It will inform you how many hours in a day have you been using your phone on an average in a week. It definitely is going to work for you. It helps you on a subconscious level. You will be more aware, you'll be more educated about your habits. Second is switch off all your notifications. Trust me, it is doable. I have done it to my own phone. I have all my notifications switched off. If there would be anything urgent, people would call you. Your phone is for your convenience and not for the other person's convenience. Disable the last seen and the blue ticks in your WhatsApp. I think most of us already have the last seen switched off, but blue ticks are totally worthless. Regularly uninstall the applications that you do not use anymore. Install minimalist app launchers. If you're not aware of what it is, I'll quickly explain it to you. It just makes your home screen of the phone extremely boring. Discourages the use of several applications that you install on your phone and then you forget about. So this is in a way an idea of out of sight is out of mind. When something is not right there in front of you, you tend to forget about it. Install Truecaller if you haven't already. I know many of us already have it on our phones, but if you haven't, you must. And also there's this paid feature on Truecaller which saves you from receiving phone calls from the numbers that are marked spam. So you can use that. I don't use it, but you may if you want to. Truecaller is a good application to save yourself a lot of hassle coming from these spam callers all the time actually. I know a few people who actually use this technique of putting their phone on silent mode or switching off the phone once in a while. That really helps. I know you all do that when you're upset with your partner. You switch your phone off. Why can't you do that for your own self once in a while? If it is getting out of hand, you do not know what to do about this addiction of yours, one great thing to do would be to uninstall a few applications. Like I have done this several times with Instagram. I uninstall it and then I install it back. There's no point Mark Zuckerberg controls your life or controls your emotions and controls your time. It's all right. Just keep him away for a while from your life. Now, this would be an extreme step, but very helpful. You could buy a dumb phone. I really know of people who do not upgrade their phones in order to save themselves this addiction of phone usage. Now there's this ultra extreme step, not highly recommended, but I have to say it. If you really feel that phone is killing your peace of mind and you really do not see a way out of this, probably just sell your phone off for a few days. Life used to happen even before there were phones in our world. We used to live even before we had phones. Life was normal, things were happening, work was happening, we were going to places. Nothing really has changed on that front. But yes, now since phones are there, we expect a certain convenience. But of course, not very recommended, but this is something that you can think about if you want to. One last thing that I feel can really work in your favor is your willpower. I think we really underestimate it. You have exercised your willpower on getting over a person, moving on from a bad relationship, moving on from bad habits. So this is just one such habit that you need to move on from. So we talked about 11 things that we could do in order to curb our habit of phone usage. Now, why do we have to do this? So there are several reasons. Phone usage terribly affects your eyes. It terribly affects your mood. It puts you in insecurities. It brings you emotions that you're not even aware of existed in you. So it sometimes brings out the worst in you, makes you a little less social person. You're more involved in the phone than actually socializing with others, meeting your friends that you used to do earlier. So many comparisons you do with others. When you look at others on social media, you compare yourself. Acha, ये तो फॉरेन घूम रहा है, ओ माय गॉड इसकी लाइफ कितनी परफेक्ट है, अरे मेरी लाइफ में तो कभी कुछ होगा ही नहीं. Those insecurities and doubts return to you, feelings that you've worked so hard on controlling, they come back to you, they spoil a few days of your life. I actually work on social media, and I'm telling you, there have been suggestions like these that have been given to me by other fellow creators. You know what, Alina, people already have a lot of troubles with their lives. Let's not give them more. Let's just give them a reason to be happy. Let's just show them to smile. Let's just show them our most perfect side of the life. But you know what? I don't really agree with that, because if you are working on social media, you have a certain number of followers, those people look up to you. It may be affecting maybe just a few, but it may be affecting them in a lot negative way, which you will never be aware of, because those people will never be able to reach out to you and tell you what they're going through. Now, just saying that curb your phone usage and do not use or touch your phone is not enough. There'll be a lot of extra time on your hand. So you must do something with your extra time, something good with that time that you're left with. Yeah, you need to start with some good habits. Maybe start reading a book, very effective, extremely effective. Start reading a book, indulge into a project, maybe side hustle, something of a small business you can start. You could start watching a show. No, don't start watching a show. I take that back. Okay, what else could you be doing? You could start exercising, you could start doing yoga. And I'm not saying that you have to totally cut down on those 5 or 6 hours of phone usage. All I'm saying is bring it down. Little. Have you seen Friends? Do you know what this is? Phone is nothing less than an addiction. It's obviously going to take you time. There are going to be withdrawal symptoms. You might feel some mood swings or feelings like that, but just give it some time. It will subside. You know, there are these companies that are working day and night to make the phone and the applications addictive, the games addictive, so that you can get hooked onto them and not move away from them. Even on YouTube, we have this thing called retention parameter. You have this stat for average view duration of a video. So, you know, there is always this encouragement, there's this push on a content creator to create content in a way that people are hooked on to your content. That is how we are encouraged to make content like that. And similar practices are being followed by all these corporates. They want you there on the app because that is how their business grows. That is how their pockets are filled. That is how the economy moves. I understand, but you cannot be taking the bait all the time. If you are wasting a lot of your time on the phone right now, you may actually severely impact your career. You can actually severely impact your health, your emotions. You may start feeling less confident. So that is all I had to say to you in the video. I would really want to know, really want to find out which of these steps that I mentioned in the video are most helpful to you, which of these you're going to practically use in your life. Another thing that I would like to find out from you is how many hours do you think in a day you're using your phone right now? So that's all. I'm going to leave all the important links in the description. I had a huge list to cover in the video today. That's all about it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in the video today and listening to all that I had to say to you. Please adopt a few of these measures. I'll see you again very soon in next 3 days. Take care of yourself. Bye.